Nissan Altima competes in what is the most crowded market segment, the mid-size sedan. And the Toyota Camry leads that market segment. Over here, we have the brand new Passat, which is at the bottom of that segment, but has doubled sales in the last year because it's all new. And perhaps the car that has completely exploded the segment is the Hyundai Sonata. So let's take all these for a ride and see how they compare to the new Nissan Altima. Nissan has been kind enough to provide us with 3 cars that compete directly with the Altima. And Aaron Cole, fellow automotive journalist from Colorado, has been kind enough to test these cars. Hey Aaron, how much does this Camry cost?
It's $24,718.
That's about the same as the Altima, huh?
That's about right.
Yeah, we're in the ballpark. So let's take this for a ride and see how it compares.
Well, the 2012 Toyota Camry is really designed by committee, and when the committee is the mass population, you're talking about a flavor that suits everybody. So the Camry itself is pretty vanilla, which it should be, because it's a car that sells hundreds of thousands everywhere.
So Aaron, what's the secret sauce? Why is this car so crazy popular?
Really, I think it's the sizzle, because the steak is pretty unflavorful. I think the sizzle is that Toyotas will run until the world ends, and it's a car that you can depend on every single day, which I think they've done a very good job selling. I think people believe it, and people still buy it for that reason.
Just like the previous generation, there are really only 2 choices of Altimas. There's this one, which is a base, which starts at about 22,000, and you can go all the way up to the V6, which puts out 270 horsepower, and that one, well, that one can get up to 32,000. All right, there is a price to be paid for 38 miles per gallon on the highway, and here it is. That is the CVT, and as much as I like getting better gas mileage, I just can't stand that drone. In the 6-cylinder, you got paddle shifters, and it does a much better job of mimicking a regular transmission. In this one, it's working very hard. All right, Aaron, how about road feel? Is this a sporty car or is this a family hauler?
It's definitely a family hauler. You know, I don't know that this should really have a whole lot of sporting pretension. You know, I got to give it up to Nissan though, because they definitely didn't go the route of electric assisted steering all the way, so it's not quite as numb as it could be.
All right, I am in the brand new Volkswagen Passat, which, just like the Altima, is built right here in Tennessee. It stickers for 25,865, and right off the bat, it feels completely different. It feels German. I know that's a cliche, but it's much more buttoned down. It's got that German road feel where you can tell exactly what the wheels are doing. It's also a lot bigger car. For more money, you get more car. The Altima also feels good. It doesn't offend, but it doesn't inspire, which means that around this corner, for instance, I want to go faster than the Passat. In the Altima, I just want to take the corner. All right, to be fair, there are a few things I don't like about the Passat. The interior is kind of a sea of black. It doesn't quite feel as well screwed together, as put together tightly as the Altima. So next up, let's drive the Hyundai Sonata. All right, gang, now we are in the Hyundai Sonata. And Aaron, I gotta tell you, it sounds a little louder in here.
It is a little bit louder, and it feels like the Hyundai Sonata is a little rougher around the edges, but that makes sense because, you know, it's kind of the new kid on the block.
How do you think it handles compared to the Altima?
It doesn't feel as planted on the road. You can tell in the Altima that multi-link suspension has gotten some tweaks in the back. Feels a little bit more confident, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's a German supercar. It just means that it feels a little bit different.
Does it feel as confident inspiring, or would you give the nod to the new Altima?
You know, I guess I choose C, neither, because you know, these things are really about point, you know, and go. If I had to give somebody the nose, I would definitely give it to the Altima. But again, that's probably just a preference thing. I think we're only using about 2% of what this car's engineered to do.
You know, Aaron, there's no sticker on this car, but there's no doubt in my mind that this is the value leader of the bunch.
Right, but it feels like they take the same engine and just wrap new sheet metal around it all the time. I mean, it feels good and it looks good. However, it's just a little rough around the edges, and I think it could probably use a little bit more refining.
But here's the big question. If it were your money, which of these four would you buy?
Is the Passat diesel an option?
Sure, that's an option.
I'll take it, but you know, I think right now, just based on sheer updated, I think the Altima is pretty good.
And here's the funny thing. A year and a half ago, this was a new kid on the block. A year and a half from now, this will be the old man on the block. That's how much this market segment is changing. As always, this is Roman and
Aaron Cole,
reporting for the Fast Lane Car. See you next time. All right, being professional automotive journalists, we couldn't just leave it at they didn't have a sticker on this car. So Aaron, how much is this?
well, you can count on this as being about $21,500.
Which is below the cheapest new Altima you can buy.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
All right, well, there you go.
I'm sure. It's heavier,
It's true.
it's slower,
Okay.
but it's cheaper.
Okay.
Hey everyone, this is Dave Erickson for TFLcar.com, and you guessed it, this is what I'm driving this week, a 2012 BMW 335i. And I've said it before, I love BMWs, but there are two things about this car I do not like. I'll let you know in my next review. By the way, you didn't think cars were the only thing I drove, did you? Stay tuned.